How can this, something as simple as printer paper out of your home office, help you right now to become a better shooter and ultimately a better protector of you and yours? This is Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. I am out on the blazing hot range. It's the end of summer 2024. The bugs are churning through the forest, trying to get as much done as they can before old man winter gets back. And I have sweat pouring down my cracks. Let's dig right into it. First things first, who cares about targets? Well, we must first define some problems in order for us to refine and distill some solutions. What kind of problem are we trying to solve when we talk about carrying a firearm for self-defense? Well, we're talking about extending our righteous will. If I could do it with my hands, why wouldn't I, right? If I could stop you with my hands or with my words, I would. But if an escalation of force is required, this tool helps me extend my righteous will from here to farther away. I can only reach 3-4 feet away from wherever I'm standing with my hands. If I have a stick, maybe I can reach a little bit farther. And this thing, maybe I can reach 40, 50, 60 yards, depending on the efficacy of the caliber and the round I'm using. So, number one, can I hit the thing that needs hitting? We're not talking about the legal or ethical side of things. That is a different discussion, which I'm going to film something on that today. But if I decide, okay, I need this thing, or if I need this thing to apply some ballistic energy righteously, I will predicate it on that. How big a target? Well, we're going to start out with an 8.5 by 11 piece of printer paper. And what I've done, I have created two examples, one using some crafty colored papers so that we can see. The beauty of printer paper, 8.5 by 11, is if I overlay this on a human torso, I'm a 192 pound, 6 foot tall, average male. This is not a spot you want to be shot, but it is still a little bit of a big target, right? So here's going to be a very basic challenge. Oftentimes when we're training, we are not training at all. I believe it was the great John Farnham, who's still with us. I don't want to say it like he's gone, but John said something to the effect of ballistic masturbation. Plug your ears if that word bothers you. But what he was talking about is just going out on the range and just doing stuff. You weren't really getting anything done. You were just playing with guns. I don't want to play with guns. So I need to be able to define some type of standard, be it distance, be it target size, be it a shot count or shot cadence, or be it a time standard, or a conglomeration of any of those things: distance, target size, shot cadence, shot volume, and then a time standard or a component of some of those things or all of those things, just to make sure we're on the same page. So I'm going to start out with the very basic standard of an 8.5 by 11, piece of printer paper. Here's your goal. Set this up, pace out 5 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, 25 yards, and so on. And when you cannot miss this, change it up. What would changing it up looks like? Pardon me. I did some colored paper here. Well, all you're going to do is cut the target in half. Here is half of this. And now you get the drill. When I no longer can miss this, cut this in half. Now I've got this. When I no longer can miss this, you get where we're going, cut it in half. At some point, you're going to get to such a small target that it becomes a real marksmanship exercise. I think something like this, which is about 1 inch by 1.5 inches, 2 inches, something like that, I think you should be able to hit that from about 7 yards with iron sights or a dot. I think you should be able to hit this at 25 yards, which is not very big. We're about 5 by 4-ish inches. I think you should be able to do that. Once I can hit these at any of those distances, now I can begin to add some time components, such as, can I hit this big piece of paper 10 times in 10 seconds at, say, 10 yards? Oh, I can do that? Okay, let me shave it down to 8 seconds. Let me shave it down to 5. Why don't we take a look at some of these things, and then we can kind of play with some variations. I'm going to show you guys the target. I've got just a piece of USPSA cardboard out here. And one of my favorite ways of doing this is good old-fashioned spray glue. Now, as a carpenter, we're always looking for ways to make things easier. This is not just any old spray glue. This is 3M number 61 corner bead adhesive. And that corner bead adhesive is a real nice heavy gluey spray. So we're going to start out with the full piece of paper. Let's fall back. I'm going to bring you guys back a little bit. We'll get her done. So we'll walk back. We'll start at 10 yards. I think 10 yards for what we're doing is fine. You can move in or out. And at first I'm going to start with no time constraint. No time constraint at all. I'm going to spin you guys, put you about right here. Bring you back a little bit more so that everything's in frame. See the target, you see me. Better grab a little bit more ammo. So we'll start off. You know what? I changed my mind already. Lock the slide to the rear, seat lock, tug, cycle, press check, tap, tap into battery, verify the trigger guard's clear, verify the holster's clear. I'm going to come to 3 yards. 3 yards. I'm going to go 2 rounds from the holster. Good draw stroke presentation. Good follow through. Verify trigger guard's clear. Verify holster's clear. I got good hits. I'll step back a couple more paces. I'm at about 5 yards here. Ready, up. Good draw stroke. 1, 2. Now the amount of shots, trigger guard's clear, holster's clear. We can create whatever we want. We'll come back here to about 10, and we're going to continue to do the same thing. All the while, what's not changing? If you said the mechanics and fundamentals of marksmanship, you'd be right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Little 5-shot string. And that is just some very basic stuff. What else can I add to this? Well, how about I can do something as simple as a reload drill? So I'm going to come right back where I was. I'm going to tack mag an empty magazine into my gun. So I've got an empty in the gun. I've got a full mag for a reload. Let me get this set up with my Neo mag here. I'm all set up. We'll do the same thing again here. Ready, up. Drop the mag, retrieve a new mag, and recover. So something as simple as a piece of paper can become our standard. A standard gives us something to work on, something to achieve. We can see here I've got all good hits upon my paper. So how can I change this up? Like I said, just keep tearing the pages in half. Why don't we grab one of those little ones and we'll play with those for a minute, huh? Which one should we use? Should we go half? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a couple of these out there and I'm just going to show you a little bit of fun times. Let me do a quick glue up. All right, so check this out. With just cheap printer paper, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different targets that cost me literally fractions of pennies. You get a pair of scissors out, or if you have a paper cutter, in 3 minutes you can make hundreds of targets. And why would you? Why would you? Because it's so damn easy. So let's take a peek at this. On the left is the half sheet. Next one over is half of that. To the right of that is half of that, so on and so forth. Let me zoom you in. So I'll just shoot a drill on this, starting on the biggest to the smallest. Are you ready? Let's do it. All right. Let's tack mag a full mag into the gun. Tack mag. If you guys ever see Steve Fisher, my buddy, say, hey, Steve, I know you love the term tack mag. It'll be fun. Okay, biggest one, 2 rounds. Trigger guard's clear, holster's clear, and I'm just running all of these from the holster. We could run them from the low ready position, up. We could run them from the compressed ready position, up. Ooh, same hole almost. We could run them from the high ready or ready pistol position, getting smaller. We could run them from the holster again. So far, so good. Zoom you out there so you can see the targets. That one on the far right, there's 2 in 1. If you zoom really far in, the old 2 in 1 routine, eh? Come on back out. I'm alone on the range doing camera work, doing range setup. I'm doing it all. I'm doing it all out here. Oop, I got to adjust the camera. So take it easy. If you don't like the camera angles, why don't you volunteer to come run the camera for me, eh? Okay, little tiny target. We're at about 5 yards. Here we go. Nailed the first one. Little camera fright. Pulled a couple in a row. Get back on the sights. There we go. Here's the fun of this stuff. 2 things. 1, I don't ever hide or lie to you guys. I'm going to show you the target. Grip doesn't lie. The point of these standards, and they're such a simple standard, is targets don't lie. So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to paste often. By paste, I mean we're going to put pasters up to cover up any misses so that we have good data points. I can't fix stuff. Let's head down range. I can't fix stuff if I don't have data points. I wish I had done this on purpose just to illustrate, but the fact that it was done not on purpose is even better. So there's my 3 misses. First shot, 1, 2, 3. And then what did I change? I got mindful of my grip. So here's some stuff to think about. We see this and we go, oh, it's combat effective. Well, first of all, I'm not in combat. I'm trying to shoot a 1-inch piece of paper. I missed. That's it. I either hit it or I did not. Because I missed, I need to self-assess. So when we are practicing, practice requires us to be very specific about self-assessment. And in this case, I could feel that my grip was not what it needed to be. I tightened my grip, kept my grip consistent where my grip pressure didn't change while pressing the trigger, and lo and behold, I hit the target. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. Little food for thought for you guys, something to think about. Hey, a couple days ago, I put a couple videos up on the current election situation. If you don't agree with me, that is cool. In fact, that is how our country's been and how man has been for all of time. Stuff like this, we can agree on, we can disagree on. Politics, we can agree on, we can disagree on. Here's my question or challenge to you. Are you doing your part? Can you do more? It's really easy to say it's all rigged if you've never got into the mix and tried to help a real election, tried to really get involved. And what do I mean by that? I mean helping a candidate get elected. I mean taking part in local government. I mean taking part in really fighting to get the right guy or girl in office. I mean showing up at city council meetings, county board meetings, going down to your state capitol and talking to people and saying, hey man, hey woman, I'm gonna hold you to the fire. That is what needs to happen. Just spouting on social media doesn't change anything. I'm sorry. And I'm only saying this to you with love and as a guy that spent years doing it. Every day, day in, day out, driving to the Capitol, driving to meetings, raising money, pounding signs in, helping people get elected. It can be done. If little old me without much education can do it, then I'm certain you can, because I'm certain you're probably smarter than I. Hey, last thought for you. Ignis Lux coffee. Guys are like, oh, he's got to get all commercialized. I bet you make money at your job, and this is my job, and I like to make money. We started roasting our very own coffee. When I say we started roasting it, we're not paying somebody to do it. We are sourcing the beans from ethical farms. We are roasting it. We are packaging it. Kanan himself, every one of these, gives them a final sniff and sends them off to you. IgnisLuxCoffee.com. Ignis Lux is Latin for firelight. It denotes the fire that burns in you, just like the fire of liberty that our founders started so long ago. It's incumbent upon you and me to keep her going. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Tell somebody you love them. Share, like, all that crap. Blah, blah, blah. Standards.
Oh, hey.